Hey everyone, Intuitive and Astrologer Lisa Salvatore here to talk to you about the beginning of June with an emphasis on the new moon in Gemini that takes place on June 6th. First things first, if you are new here, welcome to my channel. It is lovely to have you here. If you've been with me for a while, welcome back. Thank you for being here. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe so that you are notified of all new uploads and so that you do not miss anything. My newsletter is linked down below in the description box, so be sure to sign up for that. And one more thing, I had the pleasure of meeting with a dear friend of mine and fellow astrologer, Crystal B, a couple of weeks ago, and we recorded, which I feel is a really awesome conversation about psychic markers in the birth chart. Because yes, you can determine your own unique abilities or your more enhanced psychic abilities by studying your birth chart. And Crystal and I got together and we did this video and we touched on some markers in the birth chart. So definitely check that out. It's linked below in the description box. And let's get right into it. In my forecast for May through August of 2024, I put a lot of emphasis on the month of June because this is a very busy month, okay? And every month is important, but the month of June is just, there is a lot going on. Jupiter, our gas giant, the planet of expansion and benevolence and spiritual wisdom and law. Jupiter just moved into Gemini as of May 25th. Jupiter, this is a big deal because Jupiter has been in Taurus since May of 2024, and Taurus energy and Gemini energy are quite different. We're going from Jupiter being in the element of Earth, the fixed, rooted Earth sign of Taurus, where we've had a very strong emphasis on finances and the weather, just to name a few things. And now Jupiter has shifted into the air sign of Gemini. And Gemini is busy. Gemini is fast. Gemini is quick, flexible, and on the move. And so while Jupiter is in Gemini, expect everything to speed up. And if you have strong Gemini, which is your Gemini sun, moon, rising, you're more than likely feeling very jolted by the entrance of Jupiter into Gemini. We are all going to experience this collectively, as it could be very positive and a lot of profound truths coming up to the table. But it's a lot of information, and that's the thing about Jupiter in Gemini and the sign of Gemini in general, is that it's moving quickly. There's a lot of information coming in and going out. It gets quite busy, and it sometimes gets challenging to channel our energy into the proper direction or into the most productive direction for ourselves. And oftentimes with Gemini energy, we can end up spinning our wheels because it feels very scattered. So the key for the next year, while Jupiter's in Gemini, which is from May 25th of 2024 until June 9th, I believe, of 2025, so a little over a year, while Jupiter is in Gemini, it's important to really focus on what is the most important for you, for your big picture, okay, for your life, and for the bigger picture, right, for the greater good. Because again, there's going to be this desire to want to know more and do more and learn everything and anything that we possibly can. But as we all know, we cannot possibly do that. And that is how we overwhelm ourselves. So again, while Jupiter's in Gemini, just know it's important to really focus on what is going to bring you the most productive growth and what is going to support your bigger picture, which is all about Jupiter, your bigger picture for your life, for your trajectory, for your soul's journey. Okay, so that's the first big shift. Now, today that I'm recording this video, it is May 29th, and we're not into the month of June yet, but we're getting there. And we start the month of June off with an aspect that we have not ever seen before, and we will not see again here in our lifetime. We've got Jupiter now in Gemini, trining Pluto in Aquarius. This is a really beautiful energy in a lot of ways. It's very forward orientated. It's all about the future, okay? So we've got Jupiter, which is a social planet, and then we've got Pluto, which is all about transformation and getting to the bottom, to strip everything away that isn't working, to regenerate, rejuvenate, renew, and bring us back up, and to ascend higher. Now, collectively speaking, we've got Pluto in Aquarius, we've got Jupiter in Gemini. These are air signs. So we can absolutely and will absolutely see a lot of movement and information regarding technology. And there's a lot going on right now with AI, as we know, amongst many other things. We're going to see a lot with travel, Jupiter and Gemini, air travel specifically, space travel. There's going to be a lot going on. So pay attention to the headlines the first couple of weeks of June to get a little bit of an idea of where this could be headed. But again, this is all about the future, and it can be really great in a lot of ways, but it can also be very disorientating as we, as a collective, are being brought into new ways of being, of thinking, of doing. And again, with all of the information, because it's Jupiter in Gemini, it can sometimes feel really challenging or not know where to go or what to believe. So make sure that you're dropping inward. You're taking time to do conscious breath work. You're getting out into nature. You're meditating, whatever meditation looks like for you. That could simply be going for a walk in the woods. I don't personally love to sit in meditation. I just like to chill out to music, and I like to go for long walks. To me, that's meditation. That's where I get my strongest downloads, believe it or not. But everyone's different. Do whatever it is for you that is somewhat of a meditative practice that helps you to drop in and listen to your inner knowing, to your inner compass, your soul, your intuition. Okay, so we've got that Jupiter-Pluto trine, and this is taking place exact on June 2nd. Now, personally speaking, this can be very empowering and very, very positive. Personally empowering and positive. Our own unique power and strengths are heightened, and we can really feel the confidence that is necessary to push forward where we need to or where we have been stuck before. And it's about transforming your world, your own inner world, for the better, and your outer world. It's about embracing your power, embracing your shine. It's about learning to thrive and not just survive, because Pluto's all about survival. Everyone will benefit from this energy personally, but it's going to be more strong if you are an air sign, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, especially if you have any of your points and or placements between 0 and 2 degrees of those signs. And also the fixed signs, which are Taurus, Scorpio, Leo, and Aquarius, between 0 and 2 degrees of those signs. So listen, Gemini is the star of the show for the next at least 3 weeks. Strong Gemini energy is enhanced and featured. So with that said, so is communication, so is the way that we are thinking, speaking, acting, doing. Again, we want to do a lot of different things. So just a reminder to take it inward and take a beat. Mercury, the planet of information and communication, and Mercury is also the ruler of Gemini. Mercury will enter Gemini on June 3rd, okay? Until only June 17th. Mercury is going to speed through Gemini. Not surprising, right? So Mercury is having its homecoming, let's just say. It's in its domicile in Gemini. It's its favorite place to be. It loves being in Gemini. Again, this is just enhancing the brain power, the thinking, the potential spinning of our wheels, spinning out of control in some cases. So again, take a brain break, like I always say. Then on June 4th, we've got Mercury trining Pluto. This is great for research. This is great for strong mental focus, to get things done, to get things accomplished. We feel more energized, we feel more confident, we feel more powerful. And it can just feel a little bit easier to come up with solutions, at least at the beginning of June as we get into the new moon. Also, a biggie for the beginning of June is we have what we call a Venus cazimi, okay? This is where the sun conjuncts Venus. Now, this is lovely. This is happening in Gemini. This is happening at 14 degrees of Gemini, I should say. So if you have your sun, your moon, your ascendant between 12 and 16 degrees of Gemini, lucky you. But for everybody, this is a cute little moment in time. This is sweet. This is supportive. This is loving. So this is the day where you might want to make a vow to love of the self first and foremost, but make a vow to yourself to bring more of what you love or what brings love into your life, to bring more of that, to pull into the energies of what that looks like for you, what enhances that emotion, that good feeling. Again, it's just a lovely feel-good energy. It can just make you feel that much more expressive. You want to express what's in your heart, or others are doing so with you. So lead with love. Okay, and then on June 5th, the moon will move into Gemini, and the moon is going to harmonize with Mercury. Again, strong mental focus, a lot of communication, a lot of positive energy. Wednesday is also the day that the planet Mercury rules over. So again, information is favored. Communication is favored, it's highlighted. It doesn't always mean it's going to be positive. It's just telling you communication and information are coming in and are highlighted, enhanced. Our minds are super activated at this point and super active, and our mouths can be as well. So the shadow side with all of this Gemini is watch out for idle gossip. Just don't get yourself involved in the he said, she said, go straight to the source if you need to, because this energy can also pull in a lot of chatter. But as we know, there's always three sides to a story, right? Yours, mine, and the divine truth. Okay, and now we get to the new moon that takes place on Thursday, June 6th. And I'm going to also quickly go into what this means for you by sign. I'm going to go ahead and pull up the chart in a moment, but first I just want to pull in the tarot cards that are associated with this new moon in Gemini. So first, we've got the Nine of Swords, okay? So this new moon falls at 16 degrees and 17 minutes of Gemini, okay? And that falls in the second decan of Gemini, which means the second third. We've got 30 degrees per sign. And this new moon falls in the second section of that, the second third. So it's the second decan. And the tarot card for this is the Nine of Swords. Now, Gemini, the sign, rules over the major arcana tarot card, the Lovers. This is the card that Gemini rules over, okay? Now, a lot of people think that the Lovers is about love. Now, if you are pretty seasoned with the tarot, you understand that it's not always about love. It certainly can be, but the Lovers is more about choice, okay? And Gemini certainly thrives with choices because it is the sign of duality. Its symbol is the twins. And so Gemini energy always talks about more than one. It's about choice, it's about change, it's about movement. And then we've got the Nine of Swords here around this new moon, which can bring in this sense of anxiety, this feeling of nervous tension. It can also bring in mental anguish or going over the same thing again and again and again, over and over in our mind, perhaps not even being able to sleep. Again, this energy will affect everybody differently. But if you are strong mutable, which is Gemini, Sagittarius, Virgo, or Pisces, you will definitely understand the duality that you might be feeling under these energies, because there are choices that need to be made, the Lovers, and those choices, even when bringing in positive changes into our life, can feel anxiety producing, and they can also cause some mental anguish because of fear of the unknown or a fear of doing what we know we need and want to do for our soul's journey, but being a little bit afraid of that because change is scary. All of that to say, I really, really like this new moon. It's not totally 100% positive, skipping through a field of daisies, no, but it has a lot of really nice energy attached to it. So let's get right into it. Here's the chart. The Gemini new moon takes place June 6th at 8:37 a.m. Eastern Time at 16 degrees and 17 minutes of Gemini. We see the sun and the moon right here aligned, which is how we have our new moon. We've got Venus conjunct the new moon. Beautiful, beautiful energy of love and affection and emotion, communication, beauty. We've got Mercury over here in Gemini conjunct Jupiter. We've got a pile up of Gemini energy here. So again, it's busy. This is a great new moon for pursuing the new, for making those new choices that are going to take you down a different path, okay, a different trajectory. It's great for pursuing new ideas, but there's a little bit of a warning here not to go to Gemini and not to spin your wheels and get too scattered where you then end up spinning out and doing nothing. That's the challenge with all this Gemini energy. It's also great energy for perhaps, taking a quick road trip, planning a short trip with some friends, family, whatever. But again, when we're dealing with Gemini, we have to talk about the shadow, which is about feeling scattered. So don't try to overwhelm yourself or load your plate up too much. Pick out what feels the most benevolent for you, what produces the most desire, and then move in that direction. Focus. We've got 5 planets in Gemini here, so it might be a little bit more challenging to focus, but focus you must. It's great to do exercise to burn some of this energy off, especially the mental energy that's going to be occurring. And it's important to remember that Gemini rules over the mind, right? It's ruled by the planet Mercury. This is a Mercury-ruled new moon. Mercury's conjunct Jupiter, again, very expansive. There's a lot going on upstairs right now, and our mind is the most powerful muscle. So it's important to use the power of your mind wisely at this time around this new moon. This is about making conscious choices that empower us. Keyword here, empower. They empower us, but they don't rush us. It's important to remember the benefit of taking it slow. Taking action, but taking it slow. So let me tell you the most challenging aspect to this new moon, and I don't love it, like I said, but it's here, so we have to deal with it. We've got Saturn over here at 18 degrees of Pisces, and Saturn is in a square to the new moon Venus conjunction over here. This pulls me back to the Nine of Swords and to the potential mental anguish that can be occurring around this new moon or the mental gymnastics that can be taking us down a rabbit hole, perhaps causing sleepless nights or difficulty making an important decision. So it's important to remember to trust yourself and trust in your own inner knowing and trusting in your own capability to make the right choices, the lovers, where you need to, where necessary. And also, something that I always say, and it's really important to remember this, there are always going to be lessons and there are going to be blessings. And those blessings come in through the lessons. So no matter what choice we make, it will be the right choice for our soul's journey and for our growth. It's all about karma. We live and we learn. There are no mistakes. Remember that. But this square of Saturn to the new moon and Venus can bring in some relationship troubles, let's just say. There could be a troubling conversation that comes up to the forefront because we're dealing with all this Gemini, and Pisces is very sensitive. And so there's something here about, communication that you might not love, or an illusion can be shattered around this new moon. Again, this is going to be different for everybody. But the bottom line is, the square can produce some tension. It can pull in a limitation or a blockage or a reminder of why you can't move forward just yet, even though all this energy is here and the momentum and you want to do it. But again, remember the power of slowing down and trusting in the divine order, because this new moon is also supported by the nodes of the moon. We've got the North Node in Aries up here at 13 degrees, sextiling this new moon in Venus. And then we've got the South Node directly opposite at 13 degrees of Libra in a trine to the moon, sun, and Venus. This is helpful. Again, this is just a reminder of the lessons and the blessings and the karma, and reminding us that no matter what we do or what we do not do, the purpose of it is to fulfill our destiny, to take us one step closer on our true north, on our path. We're being supported by this. And there's a strong theme of independence that comes up around this new moon as well, about I need to be my own agent. I am my own boss, mind, body, spirit. I make my own decisions. I am capable of making my own decisions. We have Black Moon Lilith right here at 15 degrees of Libra, tightly aligned with the South Node and also trine to the new moon and Venus. Black Moon Lilith is not a planet. She's a point in space, but she's significant. In mythology, Lilith was Adam's first wife, and she was kicked out of the Garden of Eden because she would not comply, she would not conform, she refused. So long story short, Lilith represents the parts of us where we will not conform. We will not allow ourselves to just do whatever anyone else wants us to do or what society wants us to do, because that's not what we want to do. And in Libra, it's all about justice, right? It's about fairness, it's about equality. This is about, again, I am my own boss. I will not conform. And then furthering that is that we've got Mars up here conjunct Eris, Mars the god of war, Eris the sister to Mars. They're aligned in Aries, the warrior. They take action and they advocate for themselves. They fight for what they believe in. Eris was all about equality as well. She's all about everybody has their own voice. Everybody deserves to be heard. She doesn't want anybody to be excluded. And then we also see Chiron here pretty tightly aligned with Eris and Mars. So again, a pain point can be activated around this new moon by words that are spoken to you through someone else. Or maybe it's just some information that you see on the television. I don't know, it can come in through social media, but something can spark you and remind you of an emotional wound, a spiritual wound that you still carry deeply within you about where you feel that you give up your power to others. And it's a reminder to stand in your power where you need to, in your truth. So this Mars-Eris-Chiron conjunction can pull in a gentle reminder, or not so gentle in some cases, of where we may feel excluded in some capacity or where we may have felt excluded. So again, use your power wisely, stand in your truth. And it's about putting your foot down and keeping it down where necessary. It's not about being a jerk, like I always say, because let's be real, we're not always right. So again, everyone will experience the new moon, but it's going to be the most strongly felt and most potent to work with if you have strong Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, or Pisces, and especially if any of those points or placements fall between 14 and 18 degrees of any of those signs, and also our air signs, Libra and Aquarius, and again, between 14 and 16 degrees. This new moon will be the most powerful for you. It's perfect to set intentions for everybody, but more so for those placements, those signs that I just mentioned. Something else I want to mention, and I always bring this up whenever we have a lot of Mercury activations, let's just say Mercury retrograde or a lot of Gemini, like we do here around this new moon, because Gemini is ruled by Mercury. Mercury rules over many things, but our nervous system is one of them. So you can find around this time that your nervous system feels highly active, very ramped up. Again, physical exercise will help, or enlist in things that keep you engaged. Gemini also rules the hands. So again, things that keep your hands engaged, cooking. I always enlist in the 3 C's. That's for me personally: cooking, coloring, and crossword puzzles. Those are the 3 things that help me bust through anxiety. Whenever I feel that surplus of energy through my body, which is often, I will turn to one of those 3 things, and they really do help me out. And they all involve the hands. And I'm a Gemini rising, so I am Mercury ruled. So I don't really think that's a coincidence. But try it. Be sure to set an intention by where this new moon will fall for you by following your rising sign. Go ahead and download your free birth chart right on my website if you haven't already done so, and if you don't already have your birth chart. That's going to tell you your ascendant, ASC, or your rising sign. That's the sign you want to follow for most accuracy. You can absolutely still follow your sun sign. It will likely still resonate, but you'll find that the rising sign resonates more. I'm going to be putting out more content shortly to help you out with more of this, so be sure to subscribe to my newsletter. I also put out a detailed weekly forecast that is only available to my subscribers, and there are other things that are only available to my subscribers. So be sure to download your birth chart and then follow your rising sign and set your intention to the areas of life or area of life where this new moon will fall for you. So I'll just run through them real quick, and then you can go ahead and screenshot the houses. Aries rising, this new moon will take place in your 3rd house. Taurus rising, it will be your 2nd house. Gemini rising, this is your 1st house. Cancer rising, 12th house. Leo rising, the 11th house. Virgo rising, 10th. Libra, 9th. Scorpio, 8th. Sagittarius, 7th. Capricorn, 6th. Aquarius, 5th. And Pisces, 4th. And here you go. These will tell you what areas of life the houses govern over if you don't already know this. I hope that this was helpful. Happy new moon. Enjoy the first few weeks of June. I know that it's busy. There's going to be a lot going on. The energy will feel all over the place. It's not going to always feel like unicorns and rainbows. However, I really do like a lot of June. Not going to say the same for the rest of the year, so let's enjoy it while we have it. Make a vow to love on yourself. Make a vow to learn something new. Make a vow to take care and honor your own soul, and to make those choices out of a space of love for yourself while also maintaining compassion toward others. Take good care, and I'll be back soon. Bye.